Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome.
Another Wednesday.
Hello. Hope
Hi,
everyone
Sasha.
is very well. Do show us those beautiful faces if you want. I apologize for not having mine today. I'm having some internet issues, so I'm gonna be a logo for today. But if more of you want to, do pop on those cameras. Seeing some familiar faces. Hi, Ismay. I was like, who's Lol? Oh,
yeah, I was thinking that.
I'm using my son's laptop.
That makes perfect sense. That's a great username.
And it's I see all your beautiful clothing in the background. Oh, love it. I'm obsessed with the milk. Obsessed with it. I really want a baby grow for my godson. Not a baby grow. Well, he's a little bit older than a baby grow kind of star now, but he's coming up to 1 year old. But you don't do any sizes for 1-year-olds, do you? I don't think you do.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Maybe one day.
Maybe I can get it tailored. Yeah, no.
Hi, Sarah. Good to see you again. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Really well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. We're excited.
Love the yellow. Dig that.
Do we have anyone new with us today? Is this anyone's first Make Us Care attendance? Or are you all returning satisfied customers? Yay!
Hopefully the latter.
Well, no one's saying they're new, so I think so far we're all recurring.
Yes.
So hi, Nicole. Welcome. Oh, lost Nicole. Oh, no, I didn't. You've gone up the top. Hey, Nicole, how are you?
Great. Can't wait for the origin story.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, everyone. Okay, amazing. So I'm sure like every other week people will trickle in, but if we've got all returning people this week, I think we can honestly just dive straight in if everyone's happy with that. Let's do it.
Yeah, we've got
as usual, any questions, comments, anything, use the chat box away and we'll be monitoring it and make sure we get to everything. Yes, we love the chat box. The more alive, the better. Drop in thoughts, feelings, questions. We are here.
All of it. We want to hear
all of it.
Even if you want to challenge us on something, bring it on. We're learning too, as much as you are. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're all learning together.
Whew, here we go. We're on the product story today. So this is all about how to tell the most compelling product story. So once again, thank you for being here. And yeah, so grateful that we've got more people, well, the same people returning, which is, yeah, just really kind of pulls on my heartstrings a little bit. And I'm sure Bianca's as well, because it's just like, oh my God.
Completely.
Connected to what we're sharing, it's of course, hopefully helping you and supporting you with the way you communicate your brand. So that's what we want. That's why we're here. So thank you for being here. I won't go over this, but I am Amanda. Hello again, and Bianca, and yeah, we are going to take you through all of this content all around your product story to help you communicate it in a really compelling way. But we won't go into the intros again because I think it gives us more time to do the sharing, which I know we love the sharing bit, right? And we love hearing the stories, and I feel like we're always at the end of it just rushing a little bit. And I know that Bianca and I will have a call afterwards. We'll be like, oh man, I wish we just had more time just to like share a bit more and listen to these stories, because we love that feeds our soul. So
absolutely. And as much as this is about us and our intros, it really is more about you and your story. So let's get into it. Any questions on who we are? We're here to answer, but let's keep going.
Definitely. And just a little recap, because I think it's always good, like the product story of the 5 stories, you know, and we're in the product story today, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 5 stories is a framework. The 5 stories framework, sorry, is the foundation to all of your brand communications. And we are here. So, of course, there's 5 stories, and we're on the product story, which is all about helping you get real about your progress. Oh no, it's not that. It's all about helping. It's not about getting real about the progress you're making. No, that's the origin story, and that is totally my bad because I did not update that one. So the product story is all about what you do, the work that you do, the real work that you do. And today it's how we really get into that and really connect that with not just your origin story, but your empathy story and your purpose story, because all of these stories work together to make sure that your product story is really connecting to your customers. And that's the thing that we see quite a lot, is that it's quite easy for some, not for everyone, to communicate what it is that you actually do, but to communicate it to your customers in a way that helps them connect with it and see how it can add value to their lives. That's the hard bit. That really is the hard bit. We feel that too. So what we're going to walk you through today is really going to help you get clear on how you can communicate your product story in a compelling way that really speaks to your customers on an individual level as well, so they actually feel like you're talking about your product directly to them. So that's what we want to get to today. So I hope that's super clear. I'm sorry about the little boo-boo there. So get ready. In 1 hour, hopefully, you'll leave knowing do you know what's going on with my words today? The consumer psychology every founder and marketer should know. There we go. How to find your own product copy formula. The 3 questions to guide every product story you tell. And the product storytelling checklist you should always keep in mind. How is this going to roll? It's going to roll like the other few weeks as well, because we think this is a really nice format that feels good for us, and I hope feels good for you guys as well. But please, feedback welcome. So first, we are going to get you in the product story zone. Then we're going to ask you 5 questions and give you time to answer each one of them. Plus, we'll share some sentence prompts and top tips to help you write your product story. To finish, we'll walk you through how to start using your product story in your everyday marketing. And Bianca will lead that bit. I'm going to do the bit at the front, talking about how we get in the product story zone, share an example of a brand doing it really, really well and nailing it, and what that looks like. And then we're going to get into the exercises together as we normally do. And then Bianca's going to share some amazing prompts and sentence starters to help you get started on that product story and getting it in the direction that you want it. And Bianca will also lead the practical bits at the end, because she's pretty amazing at that. Before we get into it though, please remember, and I know we say this again and again, but it's really important for you to hear it. Everyone's a storyteller, including you. And everyone's story matters, including yours. So let's get into the product story zone. I feel like I need a deep breath after all of that. Let's do it together. Ready?
Zen. Yes. So zen. Love that.
So, what is a product story exactly? Would anyone like to share? What do you think a product story is? Let me know what you think in the comments if that feels nicer to share. I'd love to hear it. What is a product story? And what is the role of a product story as well? Why do we even need it? What do you think? What's coming up for you? Oh, I can't see the chat.
Okay, we've got some answers here. So, a way of talking about your products to connect more with your customers. That's what I quickly wrote. Is they wrote their benefits, not just their features, the inspirations behind them. Love that. Yes, definitely. That is so related to a theme that we're going to get more into. So thank you for sharing. Nicole said, what is something that only you do? Love that. Yes, big point there. Sarah said, a pitch directly to the consumer, get them excited about the product? Yes. And we are going to go into what's in the formula of getting people excited. What does it take? What does that look like? That is one of our missions for today. Thank you so much for sharing. And Gabe, hi Gabe, I didn't see you join. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Love your shirt.
The story of how the product came to be and what it's for. Why would the consumer need or want your product? Yes, 100% yes. Thank you all for sharing fantastic answers.
Oh, so good. Yeah, why should I care about your product? Make me care about it. And get into all of that emotional stuff. Because that's the thing, I think, with a product story. And I personally, definitely back in the day, always just gone, and I think, Bianca, you've probably done this as well.
Yes, I have.
That, oh yeah, we sell reusable bottles. Cool. So do they, and so do they, and so do they. Why should I care about your bottle? So yeah, we're going to really get into all of that stuff that makes people care and the emotional parts of the story that will really help you connect with your customers and build relationships with them and make them want you and not your competitors. So that's what today is all about. So let's get into the product story a little bit more. So yes, the product story is the thing that only you can do. People need to easily understand how you can help them. Without it, your customers will find it hard to see how you fit into their life. It's the story that connects the problems your customers have with the solution you offer. Here's a really, really great quote, from which, Bianca, I think you found this one. It's an amazing one, from Steve Bryant, Dropping Truth Bombs. He says this: a brand wants people to desire its product, but people don't desire products. A brand wants people to desire products, but people don't desire products.
And it's that formula of what they do desire and what they really care about and what actually drives them to purchase something that we're going to get into with you today. And it's really, really powerful stuff. So I hope that quote resonates, because it really got us thinking at the time.
Yeah, and it really tees up what we're going to get into. And I nearly kind of just, but when you read that quote out, you're just like, oh, I want to go into actually, well, what do people desire then? And I was like, no, hold back. Hold back, showing all the cards at once. So this is a conversation. So just to build on that a little bit more, build on that product story. And this is actually a conversation that we had with a founder like you this week. And we wanted to just bring this in just so you can sort of see what other founders are talking about when it comes to their product story. I think it's really important that, you know, it's an important story, but actually what are other founders and marketers feeling too? So this is what I said to him after he asked me for some expert advice on his story on his website. And I said this. I said, honestly, I think you have the body of your story there. It's missing the soul though. For startups, that's so normal. It's so hard to communicate your brand story in a wholehearted way because you're so close to it. And the easiest thing to do is to talk about your product when you're so close to it. Been there. He said this: I agree with your comments regarding the soul, and you're 100% right about me talking about the product. That's literally all I do. I'm finding myself going into pitch mode without even realizing it lately. And it's all about the products and the benefits, never about the story. Do any of you feel like that as well? Like you just go into a bit of a pitch mode and you kind of miss out all the actual bits that would connect to that customer and how they're feeling. And yeah, I do it. I do it with Makers Care sometimes, and have to be like, whoa, bring it back. Who are you talking to? Where are they at? How are they feeling? Where do they want to get to? And how can your product help them get there? It is hard though. It is hard, and you're not alone. So I just wanted to share this with you. If there any feelings or thoughts come up for you, please share them in the comments. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, please do share, and know that it's an evolving thing. We've been on a journey with our product stories for our clients again and again and again. And I think your product story grows as you do. It changes as you change, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. So the exercises that we're going to give you are exercises you can go back to again and again and again at every different phase of your business.
So your product story needs a soul, and that's where your empathy, purpose, and origin story comes in. So I'm hoping, and well, we hope that with everything you're going to learn today, you're going to start to see how each story needs each other. They all need each other. So let's build on that a little bit more. So these stories work together to make people care about your product. Your empathy story, to build on that a bit more, your empathy story informs and guides your product story by helping you connect with how your customers are feeling and how your product can help. Your purpose story informs and guides your product story with the things your customers care about, so they can clearly see how your product makes their lives better. Your origin story informs and guides your product story with the progress and impact you're making to your customers' lives with your product. It may be your customers' lives and the planet as well, if you've got kind of like a dual meaning purpose there. And when you get into the flow with that, you will see more people buying your product. And your customers will find it so much easier to choose you above your competitors. Hand on heart, promise. So we hear stuff like this a lot. Please let me know if any of this resonates, if any of this is coming up for you. We're doing something that hasn't been done before, so it's so hard to communicate that. I find myself going into pitch mode without realizing. I always find myself talking about my product in different ways, and it confuses people. How are you feeling about your product story? Is it clear? And do you feel comfortable talking about it?
We have a comment from Gaith on this, which I'd love to share with the group. So Gaith has written, and I wonder if this resonates with anyone else, because I, in my own way, I get this. So as a bit of an introvert, I started with the mentality of, I have a beautiful product. Can you just buy it and leave me alone? I mean, I get that completely, Gaith.
Yeah, I hear that. I really do.
Me too. Big time. And Ismay has said, I had been working on the 5 stories today, and it threw up something I hadn't thought of before. That because kids grow so fast, my high price points put people off because I am not putting the story across that they are designed to last longer. With extra growth room, repair kits, and care guides. That's a big point. I love that you shared this, and I adore the fact that the 5 stories has helped you come to that. That means so much. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you so much. Wow, that's amazing.
That really is. And it's funny because I think that often storytelling and strategy can be viewed as quite separate things sometimes, but actually they go completely hand in hand. These aren't just nice stories. They are the foundation of your communications and your business, how you show up, what you stand for, and what you sell. So Ismay, that is such a great example. Thank you. I'm excited to see that come to life for Boy Wonder more and more in your messaging.
Yeah, same. It's amazing. Ooh, getting all like goosebumpy. Okay.
I know, we haven't even got into the prompts yet.
I know. So really want to show you a brand that's nailing their product story, just so you can get a feel for, okay, well, what does a great product story look like that is communicating directly to their customers and making them feel heard, seen, and felt. So let's get into that a little bit. Have any of you heard of a company called Own? Let me know. I'd love to know. So in a nutshell, Own sells 100% organic period products for moody babes. Yeah, moody babes. And I really love the moody babes bit. It actually really makes me smile. Why? Because I can actually really relate to that, especially when my other half is like, oh, you're on your period, you're moody. Yes, I'm fucking moody. Literally, yes, I am. And yeah, I get moody when I'm on. I think most women do. It's natural. And it's so nice to hear a brand that feels that too. And in their product messaging, they bring that in and then turn something that's like, stop, yeah, I am. Stop calling me moody. They're turning it into something that's quite fun and tongue in cheek and playful. And I needed that. I didn't even know I needed that, but I needed that. Their product story feels like it's speaking to me and only me. I feel heard and cared about. And I feel like the founders are people that I'd love to hang out with and be friends with as well. So when you go on the website, you'll see a little tab that says us. And you'll see their founders there. I think it's Leah and Nikki. And even just when you scroll down the page, you start to see a bit of a montage. So I haven't put a screenshot here, but if you are at a computer, definitely look at their us page. You see like their story, which isn't too overwhelming. It's really nice how they, you know, came up with this idea when they are having a few drinks and in a bar, and then you go down, you start to see them together as friends, and it looks like an Instagram feed of their life together, and you're like, oh yeah, you can see yourself in that, you know, you really do. And you're like, oh, I want to be their mate, I want to buy from them because I feel like they're my mate, and I want to back them, I want to support them, and yeah, they get me. So that's really cool. And they're not trying to sell me tampons or sanitary towels. They're selling me a story, a vibe, a feeling, a new way of being with my period. They make me feel good about having a period. And I don't think I never ever thought I would say that, honestly. I don't think any woman would. But that is the magic of a product story that brings in the purpose, the empathy, and the origin into it. That's what it does. That's what it does for people. Let's build on that a little bit more. So here's one of their pages, which I did screenshot. So when you go into their product, so let's just look at how they talk about their product, which is really interesting. So yeah, I mean, it's not just, oh, go and get some tampons or go and get some sanitary towels. They're talking about it, you know, build your period kit. Why does this matter? Why do I care about this? Why does this make me care? Because they know that my period is different to Bianca's and Nicole's and you know, every bloody woman on this planet. Mine is different. The way, the timing, the everything, it's just different. And they know that, and they've heard that, and they give me a way to customize. Okay, well, what kind of like period care do I want? How often do I want it? Like regular, big, whatever, like, you know, it's, they help me customize it to me. And that's awesome. That really is awesome. And for me, that's something that I can really connect with, because there's nothing worse than panic, look in the cupboard. Oh my God, I haven't got anything. I've got to run down the co-op and feel awkward when there's a man behind the till and I'm hiding this big, bright green box. Trust me, if you're a woman, you know.
We've all been there.
Yeah, but that's the reality, you know, and they know that, they feel that. So they brought all of this into their product. So I think this is an incredible, incredible example. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm just moving you all around. Sorry if there's a little bit of a delay me getting into this. And here's a snapshot of their product page for their Holy Cramp oil. I haven't tried it, by the way, but I'm definitely gonna. So it's like a CBD oil that helps with stomach cramps when women are on the period. So firstly, the name of their product really draws me in instantly. I don't know about you, Bianca, but it definitely does for me. And I'm hooked on the language and the tone that they use as well. It actually sounds a bit like me. So let's build on that a bit more. Their main copy speaks directly to their audience's goals. It's aspirational, it's alive, and it's already actively helping their customers achieve a better version of themselves. Yes. Next, they've broken down the categories people might care about. And I'm talking about this stuff here. Tell me more ingredients and shipping. How fast am I going to get it? What's in it? Is it okay, is it good for me? Is it organically made? Like, how is it made? Tell me more about this. I want to know more about this product. So they've seen and looked at where their customers are going, what information their customers want, and they make it really simple and put that right there under the product. So they respect your time as well, and they don't force stuff on you. So it's quite small the way they talk about it. It's quite, you know, your dope period pain isn't. It's quite real, like really real and honest. And they talk about their product, and they talk about it in a way like their customers do. And for years, period product marketing has been soulless. It's had no personality. It's just like meh. It's like lazy, like, oh yeah, buy my tampon. No, I don't want to buy your bloody tampon. So the result, an audience that feels seen, heard, and showed up for. And that's exactly how I feel. And that's the goal, people. That's what we want with our products. We want that feeling. We want that vibe. We want our customers to feel seen and heard and cared for. That's the kind of product story we're going to get to today. Trust me. I I really love this slide. So you've nailed your product story when your customers say things like this. Nothing else compares to this product. I need that in my life. I get it. I want it. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Sound like a rap. I feel like they're talking directly to me. This product makes me feel a part of something. People don't buy products. They buy better versions of themselves. Think about it for a minute. How can you help them do that? How can you help your customers buy better versions of themselves? Have a little think about that, and please do share in the comments. We'd love to have a bit of a sharing circle on this to get you in the zone.
And keep that in mind as you start writing as well, because it's a big point. It's a point that we love. It's the point that we reflect on quite often. We mentioned earlier on about what people desire and how they don't desire products. They do desire becoming a better version of themselves. They do desire feeling better, seeing themselves better. There are many of you that have your own fashion brands, for example, on this call. This statement's so relevant to every single one of you in different ways. So let's explore that with some writing. Here we go. And really amazing to see Sasha and Gaith also exchanging thoughts on some of the writing already. And we haven't even got to the prompts. You guys are on it.
Yeah, that's what we love. That's what we love.
We love that. Let's write your product story. Pen and paper at the ready.
Where's my pencil? Where's my timer? I'll try and do some better timing noises today.
Oh no, don't change them. We love them.
Okay, cool.
Love them. They keep it fresh.
Right.
So we're going to start with a very simple first question. 2 minutes to answer, to get this out your system, what you do and how you talk about it right now. And then you'll see as the questions continue how we're going to build on that. So keep it concise. Einstein theory. Einstein really believed that if you can't explain something to a 7-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Start with the sentence prompt. We help people. We'll see you in 2 minutes. We help people. I help people. What does that look like for you? What do you do? See you in 2 minutes.
Ding, 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 ding.
How was that, everyone? How did it feel? What did you write? Was it instinctive? Did you write what you typically write? Did you write something different with the sentence starter? Let us know in the chat. I wrote a very simple sentence that I'll just read out, which is about what Amanda and I do with the 5 stories. So I wrote, we help people get clear on why their brand is here with workshops, storytelling, and strategy. Super simple. Just to get that one out of my system before we get building.
I love that. I love that.
We have one from Sasha. Thank you for sharing, Sasha. I help people stand out for the crowd and present to the world as their most spectacular self. That's good. Punchy, concise, clear.
Mic drop.
Yeah. And that's such a nice line at the end. As their most spectacular self, be your most spectacular self. There's so many ways that line can show up.
And I love that word as well, spectacular.
I like it too. It instantly gets to the heart of the feeling that you give people. Spectacular is a big word. It's an expansive word. So you instantly get me thinking, okay, spectacular. I don't feel that very often. What is my most spectacular self? I kind of want to meet her. Really, really like that a lot. Thank you for sharing. We'll move on to the next prompt, but do keep copying them in. We love to read them.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to build on that a bit. The next prompt, what do you want people to buy from you? And as an extension of that, what feeling do you want people to buy into? So when people buy from you, what are they going to get is the first part. But what experience are they going to have? What experience are they going to receive? And what's the feeling of that experience? So, sentence starter. When people buy from us, they get. When people buy from me, they get. Think about the actual product. Think about the feeling. Think about the experience. Again, a quick one, 2 minutes on the clock. We'll see you soon. Okay, congratulations everyone for doing the second prompt. We have an answer from Gabe on the previous one that I'd really love to read out to the group. So, we help people commit to their self-care routines by incorporating rituals into daily used items like scarves and makeup bags. We also help them connect to these items so they become more like friends rather than just an item in your wardrobe. Really nice, really nice. And the way that it gets me thinking about my relationship to things that I otherwise just look at and don't ever really look at and see. Beautiful.
Really beautiful. That feels like it comes from soul.
Yeah, it does. It feels like it comes from a soul that's really paying attention in life, paying attention to the things around them. And it makes me want to pay more attention too. Thank you for sharing, Gaith. We have one from Nicole on this prompt. When people buy from us, they get life-changing education and tools to help them practice taking better care of themselves, connect more deeply to their relationships, and nurture their environment simultaneously. Really, really impactful. And I love that we've got a theme here around care and healing between you all. I love that. And the tools as well. You've got a mixture of the emotion there, Nicole, and you've got the practical. So yes, this is what we believe in theory, and this is how we back it up with the goods, the actual tools to help you practice that self-care. Love that. Ismay's put, when people buy from us, they get a splash of color in their boys' wardrobe that will make them smile. Love that a lot too. And I love that you've both mentioned wardrobes actually, because I think that in my mind, I start to visualize, oh, I do just go into my wardrobe really mindlessly. I don't think about it. It's not a fun experience. And both of those statements make me think about, well, what is my relationship to my wardrobe? What emotions am I not feeling that I could be feeling? Really good.
I mean, my wardrobe is an absolute mess.
Mine too. And both of these have made me think, I should be getting more joy from my wardrobe.
Yeah, why not? Why are we not? We can.
We can and we should. So thank you for making us think in that way, all of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move on to the next question.
Okay. 3 minutes for this one. What makes your product worth buying above your competitors? So what makes your product different? What do you do that makes people feel good? So another way that we like to answer this sometimes is, what does make your product different to your competitors? Are there added benefits or features or something that people really need that they don't provide, but you do? We're reminded of the Walt Disney quote, people spend money when and where they feel good. It's a classic quote. And my question to you is, what do you do that makes people feel good? What do you do that your competitors don't do to make your customers feel good? So really simple sentence starter. What makes us different is ... What makes my brand different is. This one's a little bit of a trickier one, so we will see you in 3 minutes for this one. 3 minutes.
Ding dong.
The witch is dead.
Just let whatever comes out, it just comes.
Can't help it.
Hmm.
Okay. That's a super important question. Congratulations on writing about it. Let's read what makes your brands different. We'll start with Nicole. What makes our brand different is the hands-on environmental component and visible impact of our gathering. People literally plant trees and food into the ground and naturally build garden structures that outlive the event itself. Love that, Nicole. There's a point about longevity and legacy that's coming through for me there. And that's been a theme that I've been reflecting on this week, actually. And you've brought that to life by this idea of something outliving the event itself and having this long-lasting impact on the planet, in people's memories. Really, really beautiful. And I want to get an invite. I want to plant trees and food into the ground, like right now. So thank you. I love that. Sarah, what makes us different is that our products are unique and special, creator/designed, having our customer and the planet in mind without making any compromises. Fashion that makes you and the planet feel good. Really strong, really clear. I like that without making any compromises, because I know that sometimes in sustainable fashion, it's sustainable, but how sustainable? What compromises have been made? What shortcuts have been cut? That really gets me feeling like quality as well as sustainability. That comes through very strongly for me.
Yeah.
Sasha, what makes my brand different is I'm designing for my best self in 10, 20, 30 years time, and want this to be true for my customers as well. Aside from being striking and fun, the clothes are flexibly sized to evolve with you as your body changes. I've never heard of that before. Have you, Amanda?
No, I think that really stands out to me. It really does. I'm just like, tell me more. It makes, that story makes me want to find out more, which is a great thing. You want that. You want to hook people and make them want to discover more about you, learn more about you. That does that for me. Never heard that before.
Never heard that before. Amazing work. And I'm thinking, wow, to have a piece of clothing that has that flexibility, it's just exciting to me. It's exciting to me because our bodies do change. Sometimes I have a food baby, all of these things. And oh yes. And there's an inclusivity about that message that you are saying without explicitly saying it. And there's a welcoming tone to it, Sasha, that I think is a really beautiful tone of voice in general. So I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you resonate with the food babies too.
Yeah, every day.
Every day. Ismay has said, what makes us different is that we want our products to have a positive impact on the wearer, kind to their skin and greener for the planet. And we give you the tools to care for your purchase and the planet. That's so strong. And this idea of kind to skin as well. I haven't heard much of that in the kids' clothing space. This idea of like kind of for your skin, kind of for the planet. We give you the tools to care for your purchase. So kind of for you as a buyer. So you're not just giving it to your son, for example, and then that the longevity of it isn't there. There's a lot of thought. When I read that, Ismay, I feel like this brand cares about me. They care about me beyond the purchase. They care about the afterlife of the product. And that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And I'll read one more from Gabe here. What makes us different is that we care. We care about you, about how you feel and your mental well-being. We care about each product we make and we care about the environment. So we love the word care at Make Us Care. Of course we do. Care is rooted in everything we do. And the reason that is, Gabe, is because there are very few brands that genuinely care. And making your customers feel like you see them, you hear them, you care about them as people beyond the transaction, that is different. And that does make you different. So I love that statement.
Really do. And what that does as well is it opens up a bit of a door to your customers to say, oh, yeah, I care about the environment too. It gives you saying things that actually they can also be like, oh yeah, I do care about that. I want to connect with you more because I care about that too.
Yes, it reminds me of, we have in one of the earlier decks when we do our intro to the 5 stories, a Venn diagram, what your brand cares about, what your customers care about, and where you can meet in the middle. And that statement, Gaith, it meets me in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Thank you all so much for sharing. There's so much richness in this, and I'm always so moved to read what you write. It's an honor. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay. 4th prompt. So 3 minutes for this one. What problem are you solving with your product? So we've started identifying your customers' problems. This is about being the solution. Your product is the solution. So super simple sentence starter. The biggest problem we solve for our customers is, and relate it to your product, relate it to the exact thing that they are having solved for them when they receive your product, experience your product. In Nicole's case, go to your product. What problem are you solving? What's the biggest problem you're solving for them? Just to repeat the sentence starter, the biggest problem we solve for our customers is. See you in 3 minutes.
I like that one.
That's a countdown classic, that one.
That just always comes to me. I keep trying to think of new noises and alarming noises. I don't want to do the iPhone one because it drives me crazy. Oh, no, snooze that. Snooze it right now.
Snooze that right now. Okay, let's move on to the last prompt, and then we will read all of the beautiful messages that you've written in the chat at the end before we get into the practical section. So final question. Can you believe it? This has flown by. Is that just me? It has flown. So how is your product making people's lives better? So with this one, the trick is to think practically and emotionally. The secret to a good answer here is balancing both, the practical and the emotional. Like one of Nicole's prompts that we shared earlier on, you know, practical, emotional, bring them together, you have it. Remember that it's not about you, it's about them, your customers. People buy into those emotions, those feelings, those better versions of themselves that we mentioned. How are you helping your customers to do that? We asked you at the beginning. Reflect on that. See what comes up for you from that. Sentence starter. After they buy from us, our customers are. After they buy from us, our customers are. We'll see you in 3 minutes.
Ding ding. What's coming out there? Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. We need to get some bells, Bianca. We need some bells.
We need. I feel like we need a gong at this point.
A gong. We need a gong.
Yeah, a gong. I love me a sound bath. We need a gong.
Yeah.
So let's read some of these out. We're going to read a couple from before, and then we're going to read the ones to this one. And some of you are saying it's a tricky one. It absolutely is. And 3 minutes is very much just an introduction. Take this prompt away with you. Take this question away with you. Reflect on it. See how it unfolds. Sometimes with writing, I always find that I start to think about it, then I step away. I have space, and I'll be in the shower. I'll be doing the washing up, and suddenly, ding, the answer appears like magic. So don't feel pressured to solve that now. We're just here to give you the tools and hold the space for you. to then really hold that space for yourself with it. So we've got some great answers here. I'm going to read this one from Sasha. Yes, I love a bike ride too. After they buy from me, my customers are joyful and often tell me their new piece is now their favorite in their wardrobe. My clothes make them feel more adventurous and confident in their everyday lives. I love that. And clothing does that. I listened to a really amazing Instagram live with Elizabeth Gilbert, and the writer, and she was saying that when she sits down to write, she gets dressed up for the occasion, and how our grandmother's generation, that they understood that. They understood the power of dressing up and wearing that clothing and really seeing life as an occasion. And that taps into that. So thank you so much for sharing, Sasha. I really love that sentiment. And adventure and confidence can look different for each person, but it's the sentiment that I think is so strong. And you've got that great balance as well of emotional and practical. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay. Shall we get into, we've got 3 minutes on the clock. Before we do, look at the piece of paper in front of you. This is your brand's first product story. Congratulations. You did it.
Big moment.
It was hard. Some of them are tricky. We feel that. Keep reflecting on it. This is a great structure, and we're going to show you how this can live in your everyday marketing. Okay. So can I just share that I am obsessed with these candles? I'm completely obsessed with them. So they're called Anecdote Candles on Instagram, and their product descriptions, a bit like Own that Amanda shared earlier, they're fun, they're alive. So I've put here, spotlight your products in fun ways on social media with messaging that captures the mood of the moment. So Anecdote Candles shared this candle last weekend. It was the first post-lockdown weekend in the UK. Spring Fling smells like fresh flowers and happy hour. You know, that was the mood of last weekend. So you may not be able to do that in your products, but how can you do that in your captions when you do promote your products? How can you be like, okay, what mood are my customers in right now? What mood am I in right now? And bring that to life. We love this. It's a great Instagram account. Anecdote Candles, one of my top 5 favorites. Go check them out.
I'm going to buy one.
Oh, they are the best, and they smell really good. So this is one of our clients at Nimble. So Nimble creates safe, plant-based cleaning products for babies and children. And I wanted to put here a reminder: honor yourself as the creator, not just the product. No good product story is complete without you, the creator behind the product. So here we've got Von, who is the founder and creator of the Nimble products. And we're so excited because he's our client and he's just started stocking in Tesco, which is amazing. And you can see in his update, there's a picture of him jumping in front of a Tesco. The products are at the front, but he's still in the frame. He's still in the story. You need to be in your story too. You know, Von was a chemist. He created these products to solve a genuine problem. Don't forget to put yourself as the creator in your product story too.
That's an amazing point. Amazing point.
Simple one, no budget, high impact, always worth it. Keep celebrating the process behind your product. So this is just one example, and of course we'll send over the full deck of how you can just create simple Instagram reels and TikToks of when you're creating orders. If you create a physical product, document some of that process, show the effort that goes into it, put a fun song behind it that represents the energy of your brand and get it out there. People are so curious to see what does go into it. The next time you're putting together a package, why not record it, speed it up, put a song, get it out there. It helps. So this is a really fun one. So this is a company called Sunday. They just raised a significant amount of investment, and I'd never heard of them, but super simple technology. They help you essentially pay quicker in restaurants and look at the menus quicker with the QR code, the big QR code, which is now very relevant during COVID. What I love about them, and there's a reference on this slide and the next slide, is that throughout their website, they've annotated it. So I don't know how well you can see it, but they've got a typical try Sunday, but they've put a little note, almost like it's the founder giving you annotations of their product on their website. They put, you know, because Wednesday was way too long. You know, just these little things that make you feel as the customer like they're talking directly to you. And on the next page, you can see another example of it too. Their whole website is fantastic. They've got a great joke here about how, you know, they've got their benefits and features list, 40% more tips, even from French people, is a funny joke. They're French themselves, so it's a bit tongue in cheek, but they have this idea of like, yes, here's what we can do for you, but let's bring it to life more with some fun mentions too. So I really love this. I wanted to share it with you. Final question. How can you start using your product story today? Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, we always want to help you put your 5 stories in practice. You should all have the 5 stories worksheet already, but if you don't, let us know and we'll get that over to you ASAP. We'd love to stay in touch, and also we'd love to see you next week for the vision story, the final story, which is I feel really sad, excited, but sad, because it's the last workshop in this series with all of you. So we're going to be working on how to create your brand vision story. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing, for being you. And yay, we made it again. Thank you.
Congratulations, all of you. Sasha's put a comment in here about not having, I believe, the 5 stories download, so we can definitely get that over to you, Sasha.
We'll get that over to you, Sasha. Thank you.
Not a problem at all. Thank you all so much.
Thank
We will see you next week.
Thank you, everyone. That was wonderful. Hope to see you next week.
Yes, you too. See you soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for being here.